Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to go over the 3 principles that I personally use in order to change my perspective when it comes to losing weight, gaining muscle, achieving my health goals, and how to maintain it forever. We have the New Year's resolution coming up. It is week 2, and your body's probably feeling pretty sore. You're starting to maybe regret this decision. You're probably even like, do I need to get in shape, or why haven't I seen results yet? Let's tackle everything in this episode, because if I had known this, years ago when I first started, I think I would have changed my perspective of what I should be doing. So principle number 1 is super secret. No one ever said this before. I'm the first one ever. So here you go. Consistency. Yeah. I mean, it's not sexy. It's not pretty, but it truly is something that's needed. Things take time. It's just that simple. You need to be consistent with the goal that you set out. So let's say you said that, you want to build a routine for your fitness because you want to lose 40 pounds, whatever the goal is, right? We'll use 40 pounds as our avatar. You want to lose 40 pounds. Well, part of the goal was you need to build a routine. The routine consists of 3 to 4 days a week of working out. You have to do that. Like, you actually have to go to the gym and work out 3 to 4 days a week consistently, not for 1 week, not for this second week only, but for 3, for 4, for 5, for 6, until and after you hit your goal. That's what's needed in order to succeed. Consistency takes time, and you're going to have to do it. If you go into this with the mindset of, I should see results right away, why, after 2 weeks, I'm not seeing results, I'm going to give up. You're in the wrong perspective. You need to understand that consistent action is how you're going to achieve success. And you can see this in a lot of different aspects in life. So for example, if someone completes a marathon, we all say, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. Like, marathon. Yeah. And like, that's so impressive. The reality is the action itself is not extraordinary. What makes the action extraordinary is all the small things that you did to build up to be able to run the marathon. So if you were to wake up tomorrow and be down 40 pounds, it's like, that would be extraordinary. But the reality is it takes months to lose the weight, and being consistent and coming in and day out, that's what makes something extraordinary. That's what makes something happen. No one succeeds overnight. It just does not work in fitness, and you can't expect this. You can't expect to just be that one person random in the universe that does it. It takes consistent effort over time, day after day, in order to achieve the goal. So that's number 1, consistency. Guru tip number 2, progression. There's something called the law of diminishing returns, okay? So if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, it's great at first, but over time, you get less of a return. So for example, if you start out today running a mile, and the mile, let's say, is a 10-minute mile, okay? That's what you're running. And you do it the first time. The first time, it's probably hard, you're probably tired, and you're gonna feel really good when you're done. You're gonna get awesome benefits, cardiovascular, cardio, whatever it is, right? You're gonna feel great benefits. Second time, same situation. Third time, same thing. 10th time, you might see less of a return. You might be less tired. Your heart rate probably didn't get as high this time. 20th time, 50th time you've done now the 10-minute mile, your body is now adapted to the stimulus that you're putting on it. Since your body's adapted, it takes less energy to do what you're trying to do, and you're going to get less of a return on the effort you're putting in. And therefore, in order to keep seeing results long term, you need to progress in whatever you're doing, in your workout routine. So if you're doing 10 push-ups at a time, over time, you should get to 11, then 12, then 13, then 14, and so on and so forth. And with running, maybe you go a little bit faster. Instead of a 10-minute mile, it's a 9-minute and 55-minute mile, and then a 9-minute 50 mile, and so on and so forth. The idea is you don't have to increase every time, but over time, you should be able to improve in some way, shape, or form with what you're doing, whether that's rest time, whether that's number of sets, number of reps, etc. There's so many different ways you can do it, which I probably have listed right here, all the ways you can improve your workout. But progression over time is key. Otherwise, your body will adapt and you won't see the best results overall. And you're going to realize, why am I stuck? I go to the gym every day. I do the same routine every day for months, and I'm not seeing better results. You got to progress. There's no other way around. You have to do better over time, because your body is amazing. It will adapt to what you're doing, and then you're going to have to improve it and give it a different or a more advanced stimulus in order to see better results. And number 3 is, you can't even see it. Number 3 is patience, which is like so unsexy and so obnoxious. But when we have these New Year's resolutions, when we think about these goals, we're very specific on, I want to do this and I want it to be done in 2 weeks. I want to be done in 1 month. I want to be done in 6 months. It's too short. You are developing a whole new lifestyle. Nothing is short in this world. If you want to get a promotion at your job, you're probably not getting it in the first 6 months or even in the first year or 2 years. It takes a couple of years to get a promotion. Imagine trying to get to be like, I want to be a CEO of that company. It's like that takes 20, 30, 40, 50 years to get to that point. No one just starts from the bottom and expects results within a month. Change your perspective on what you're going for. Obviously, number one is you want to lose weight. That's great. But don't you want to live a longer, high quality life, right? That's the goal, to live a better life. So therefore, instead of thinking in days, think in months. And then when you get past that threshold, start thinking in years and then start thinking in decades. When you change your perspective of what you're going for from days to months, then you stop worrying about the nuance of, oh, I worked out today, so I should go look in the mirror and flex and see if I can see my six pack. No, you're like, awesome, I can check that off the list as something I did as a part of my consistent and progressive routine over time. And that's the key there. So if you follow these 3 steps, and there's nothing sexy, there's nothing fancy about it, because there's nothing sexy or fancy about working out. Anyone who tells you otherwise is just trying to sell you something. Inherently, this is all it takes. Don't worry about any nuance. You are not ready for the nuance yet. Just focus on getting started and building that routine so that you can see long-term success, consistency, progression, and patience.